Cool. So this is Swordigo, a 2012 Metroidvania by a Finnish developer called TouchFu, who are probably the nicest, or one of the nicest devs that I've ever sort of interacted with. But they've been excellent, and I'll be probably talking them up during the run as well. Got an estimate of 106, which I thought was really generous, but I haven't actually had many chances to practice because I broke my phone. I'm going to start the game, but you don't need to start the time gauge straight away because that's on first player movement. What we're doing is the all bosses run, which is, to all intents and purposes at the moment, more or less the same thing as any percent, but there is potentially a quicker any percent route. But what I'm going to do is start the run at the count of 3. So 3, 2, 1. There you go. So plot. Basically, you're a character that looks like Zelda, but isn't. And you wake up during the night, and this fellow says that your mentor's gone missing, your master, and says to take a look in the woods. So we're now going into the woods late at night. And basically, spoilers, find our master dead, and he was killed by some corruptors, and we have to kill the corruptors and the source of all the corruptors, which is the Master of Chaos. And to do that, we have to get the Mage Blade, and the corruptors blew that up, so we've got to get all the pieces, put them back together again, and then kill everything. Except we don't kill everything, because by being selective of what you kill, you can be quite precise in when you level up, which can be very useful for replenishing health and mana at the right times, and for death warps too, to try and be low on health when you need to do death warps. There's kind of quite a few different mechanics involved in the speedrun. One of the main and relatively recent ones is the triple jump, and that's one of the reasons why Wrath is just so godlike at this game, is that he can just triple jump like a pro. Whereas I think quite a few people struggle with consistency with the triple jump. But yeah, he's very good at that, and before too long we'll be seeing a triple jump. And we're also keeping an eye on the coin count. Because we really want to have enough coins by the time we finish the first boss to be able to get a fire trinket. And then at other stages we want to have enough coin to get armour at the right time. I mean, all told, there's quite a lot to manage during a run. My PB is 53.36. World record from Wrath is 52 flat. So I've got quite a way to go. The scary thing is that I think Wrath could go a lot quicker if he got the run. So, come on. So yeah, it's going to be difficult to get record back. I mean, I think I'll keep running this for as long as it stays fun, obviously. I mean, I'm playing this for 3 years, maybe more, and it hasn't really got old yet. That's another speedrun mechanic, which is the quit load, and that saves a bit of time in 2 or 3 spots. Oh, oh dear. Oh no, this is... That's the triple jump. When done properly, it is really useful. To save my brushes and not die if I can. No, that's a bit better. But yeah, that's triple jump. Probably over the course of the whole run saves, God knows, maybe 3 minutes plus in various optimizations and skips and stuff like that. I mean, for a long while we didn't think it was possible on all the devices. But I think we're pretty sure now it works with everyone, with some practice. I mean, whether it's a little bit more easy on some devices than others, I'm not sure. But for... Oh, come on. This is the other big thing about Swordigo speedrunning, is the bats. This should be alright because we level up here. Yeah, bat RNG is the bane of all Swordigo runners' lives. That was quite poor. And yeah, I didn't really explain, but the triple jump over the river was an example of the other main mechanic to Swordigo speedrunning, which is the gate skips, which are various ways to skip a gate without using a key, giving you a spare key for later on, meaning you don't have to collect all of the keys. And that was another another example of it. I forget how many gate skips there are in all. I'm guessing maybe 6 or so. Maybe not that, maybe 5, I don't know. But they obviously come into their own on the all bosses category. And we take deliberate damage there, so we can death walk in a bit. Oh dear, that's not good. And this chap, give him 4 good ones there. Come on. And this is where we pick up the bomb ability, which you need to progress to the next stage, or past the next gate. And that's a death walk. Oh, that's not good. This guy can be frustrating when he wants to be. So you're probably hearing me tap for England. And we're coming up to the first boss. Does help if you don't lose half your health before you fight him. Never mind. And in terms of coins, I think as long as you have about 100 by this stage, you can usually... oh, that's not good. Okay, we could die here. And we're trying to stay in this that sort of zone, that sort of safe zone. I could easily die here. The frustrating thing with these magic sort of balls dropping from the ground, is that if you do a high jump and that's coming, you know, the timing is wrong, like that almost was. Doesn't matter too much how good you are. You can just end up properly getting trolled by the RNG. Okay, I was lucky there. You can actually get killed after the cutscene starts. Well, I think we should have, it's 150 we needed, so we've got 164 coins, so we've got enough coins for our fire trinket. Which is all we needed. And the fire trinket on the sword adds quite a big boost to damage, makes life a bit easier. Probably the most useful trinket that you can add to your armour later on is the shadow one, which we get at about, I guess, a quarter way in, and that perpetually heals you, which is pretty vital, especially in the latter quarter of the game. You do take a lot of damage, so you kind of need that healing. Come on. So yeah, I wouldn't say call it an RNG heavy game, but there's a fair bit of RNG involved. Kind of the big levels, like the boss patterns, are RNG, and that's why you can get trolled real bad by the bosses in particular. And you also get sort of almost micro level RNG with the damage that your strikes do. Is random within range, depending on your level and what sword you have. That's another speedrunner mechanic, which I suppose you'd call maybe edge jumping or something like that. Another thing that Wrath does really well in his runs, just edge jumping all over the place. Because yeah, if you're near a edge, if you're within a few pixels of an edge, then it sort of, you just maintain the jump momentum. And again, being a bit careful about what we don't do and don't kill. And that's because there's a death warp later on. It's quite useful not to have leveled up just after you kill some skeletons. To an out a death warp later on. This guy is called Root. Don't know why I stopped for that coin. I think at this stage in the run you don't have to be too worried about coins. I think you're always more or less guaranteed to have enough coins when you need them, when you get the armour later on. I think I'm right, the Wrath doesn't get, or gets the armour before the second boss fight, and I grab it just after the second boss fight. Oh, that's not good. It's really not good because there's a skeleton who's going to be stumbling around this corner. That guy. Let's see, yeah. So yeah, I could easily die here, which would be pretty annoying. I mean, yeah, I was saying when I started that gave an estimate of a minute and 6, and I thought, I've got a PB of 53.5 minutes. I'm pretty safe. But actually, if you get trolled, if you just have one of those runs and you're getting trolled all the time, then no, you can lose a lot of time. Oh. Yeah. See, I died there just to demonstrate how easy it is to die in the game. So, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, and all of that really was just because I died to that guy. But the scary thing is that I haven't even reached the stage where you get trolled yet. The big trolls in this game are the Overseer, There's another death warp. Well, not death warp, quit reload. And that's the death warp. And yeah, I mean, the Overseer, if you get trolled by the Overseer's patterns, then that can be easily, you know, a minute and a half lost for each time that he trolls you. I mean, if you have awful luck on Overseer, then, you know, you're losing minutes. And the same really for the Ice Boss. I mean, he's probably a bigger troll than Overseer. And they might be kind to me, but I doubt it. The other thing is, usually in a run, I'd have carefully planned what I'm going to kill. Oh my god. But this time I've already died at least 2 times that I can remember that I shouldn't have died in, so really the planning of the level ups is pretty much out the window. But that's alright. If I overrun Gave, just terminate me. Don't, no ceremony, just cut me off. If you want to terminate me early, and because I've overrun, and laugh easily whilst you do it, but sort of kind of sneer, then that's absolutely fine. I will have deserved it. That's a quit load a couple of times to save a bit of time there. And this is all on our way to Florinman. Which is the only city that appears in the game. And you might be interested or not to know that it actually appears as an Easter egg in a game by Dialight, who more or less are Touch Fu, who developed this game, in their game called Grim Valor. And you go into the sewers of Florinum in Grim Valor as a sort of tribute to this game. I'd recommend Grim Valor to anyone. I mean, it's a bit of money on mobile, but it's super good quality, especially for the platform. It's just really well made. I'd describe it as this game, but with a bit of Dark Souls and basically far superior everything. The only reason why I'm not sort of speedrunning Grim Valor a lot is because it's long. I mean, I'd hazard a guess that a full game run would take maybe 3 hours. Obviously, no one's really been running it, so we don't know whether there's, you know, some sort of exploit or something useful speedrunning related, but I think it would take a long time to explore it properly. Be a massive time investment, and I think there's every chance that at the end of it it's still going to be a 2.5-3 hour long run. And I used to do a few runs that were a bit more that length, but I can't be doing that now. You can clip into this wall when you're not being stupid, and most walls in Swordigo are kind of optional. especially if you've got a pot or something you can sort of push against. And we'll see at least a couple of other, why is that not worked? We'll see at least a couple of other wall clips in this run. And this bit with the bats is another example of bat RNG being can be a bit of a pillock. I mean, casual playthroughs, that area, I think, or for blind runs, that area can be quite a challenge. But subject to bats, it's not too bad. And this is the Overseer coming up. He's definitely a bit of an a-hole. Again, it's all down to his second phase patterns. He's got 2 attacks in the second phase, and one is good, one is bad. And you need 2 good, really, for a good fight. Not bad, 65% into second phase is about average. That was the good one, and that is a good one as well. Oh my god. That's perfect Overseer luck. Watch me muck it up anyway in the easy phase. Third phase is pretty easy. Okay. And that's made up a tiny bit for me being a pillock earlier in the run and being really slow. I mean, I was still way off pace, but at least I didn't get trolled by the Overseer. And it was 350 coin that we needed in order to get our new outfit. This is a tiny time save, which I thought I'd discovered, but Mini Catfish, who's found a couple of things in this, well, quite a few things in this game, had actually found it way before me, so I was quite disappointed with that. But that avoids 2 pickup animations. And now I've got my health potion. I don't want to use that until much later in the run, specifically for the ice dwarf fight. Use the 3rd boss and the say probably the biggest troll in the game. I kind of tend to try and reserve the potion for that fight. And sometimes you're really lucky you don't even need it for that fight. Give or take, picking up a potion or anything that involves having to go warp to a city or warping to a shop from another location costs about 20 seconds. Oh yeah, seen that. Did I get like a ninja? Yeah, like a ninja is the achievement for killing the Overseer without taking damage. And that's just luck really, because if you get the 2 good patterns like I did in second phase, then there's no reason really why you need to get hit. But if you don't get good patterns in second phase, if you don't get good patterns in second phase, then yeah, you can die easily. I mean, at this stage, you've only got 3 hearts, which is, you know, the amount of hearts that you start with. And it's obviously not... Oh, come on. It's obviously not too, you know, you're not being 2-hitted or 1-hitted by the boss, but if you get the poor attacks in the second phase, then you can just be in all sorts of problems. So yeah, it's just easy to die to the bosses. That's nice. That sometimes takes a few goes. This chap, what's he called? Arion. He's also a bit of an a-hole. He's not too bad, but he's got quite a lot of damage on him. And this is probably the closest thing you get to downtime during the run, which is basically just getting to the next portal in the ice world, so you can fast walk there later on. So I can probably try and dip into chat. How's the run going so far? It's been pretty bad. I can remember at least one big death, which wasn't meant to happen, which I did just to demonstrate, you know, what happens when you die. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm quite a way off Wrath in this game, and I think even though I'm only a minute and a half behind, or I'm, you know, a full minute and a half behind on the leaderboard, I think the reality is worse than that, because his 52 flat, I think, could easily have been... Oh my god. That was so bad. I never die there. Never. Not even just now, I didn't. Oh gosh. I don't know why I'm killing them, even though I don't need to. But yeah, I'd say the main differences between Wrath and I at the moment is that Wrath's movement is so much better. I would say it's movement, it's triple jumps. You know, triple jumps are a big part of it. He's super consistent, super good at those. His edge jumping, he does a lot more of that. Maybe the other big thing is risk taking. He takes a lot of risks, goes for a lot of difficult jumps, especially triple jumps, where if you get it, it might save you a couple of seconds. Oh, that's nice. If you don't get it, then you lose 10 seconds, and that, at quite a few points in the run, that sort of jump, or that sort of maneuver, I just don't go for, because I'm a bit of a coward like that. I think that's what you got to do, really. You've got to take risks if you want to get super good times. Because I suppose even the risky stuff, if you practice enough, it's not risky anymore. But you've got to have the guts to practice it and include it in runs in the first place. So yeah, but I'll keep running it, keep grinding it. Now here is where there's a cycle that I really want to get if I can, and I don't think I have, which is where we miss this fella, or we try and miss this fella, and as you just saw, not quite making it through costs a bit of time, probably 3 or 4 seconds at least, I would have thought there. The red stuff, hopefully worked out, is lava, because this is the fiery section, and that takes off a couple of hearts each time if you fall in, so you don't want to, really. And coming up is a section which, through a sort of skip that Wrath found, we can actually skip this sort of sequence here, which is kind of an auto-scroller, but not, because there's nothing precluding you from just carrying on, jumping up and making your way up to the Ghost of the Master for the next section, or the next spell roll. I didn't mean to do that. Gosh, don't you ever... I've never actually done it this badly before, so this is a first. And the reason this isn't great is because if you don't make it up to the top quickly enough, then you have to do a jump coming up completely blind. I think like that, I think I've been lucky. But yeah, that sequence, Wrath worked out how to skip, and saving, no idea, saving maybe 20 seconds. Oh, that's probably the hardest jump in the game, or for me anyway. That's a triple jump. But anyway, the skip, I just haven't had time enough to practice properly. Right. Yeah, the skip in that last bit, which involves grabbing a pot and basically going in backwards to get the spell which I just got. That's a gate skip found by Minicat. This is what I tend to do in runs. It's actually quite possible to die here. Yeah, that was it wasn't a great fight. I think I mentioned I tend to try and jump up to those side bits by damage boosting up those fire spouts, which for quite a while I thought was really fast and clever, but I don't actually think it's that fast or clever. But that was probably the least trolly boss in the game, apart from maybe the first boss. But it didn't go badly, so it's not too bad. And we're into the ice world now. This is the penultimate section of the game. Oh my god. That was a really simple jump, which I messed up. These balls of ice can be really bloody annoying, but they're not too bad once you know how to get over them all right. Again, from a blind sort of casual playthrough, it's the sort of thing in the game that can really narc you. But once you've practiced it a few times, they're manageable. Come on. And I want about 6600 XP there to try and level up in a convenient spot in the section coming up. So hopefully, no, I thought I was going to get good cycle there, or fast cycle, but I didn't. And the ice section is probably my least favourite section. I mean, it's got quite a few pitfalls. It's been an odd run, this one. I've managed to get all the easy things wrong, and so far the usual big run killers have been okay. I've honestly died in this run places that I've never ever died before. This is a bit of a headache. And what I do is just stop the healing process there, because I actually want to get hit a little bit. Because there's a death warp in about a minute, and I don't really want full health to make that a bit easier. And coming up is the single biggest bit of RNG in the game, and this too, I guess, can cost a minute and a half between perfect and bad RNG, and this is the Hall of Trials. But as far as I know, these platforms are completely random. So we come down here. It's got set pathways, but the length of time it spends pausing between movements. Oh, why am I? No idea why I tried to carry on platforming there. Oh, basically, if I die whilst I'm holding this thing, it respawns in its original location. So it's a massive pain in the neck if you end up dying whilst you've got this. And it's quite easy. See, this is good Hall of Trials ING, because you could be waiting for ages for this particular platform to come around this way. But I could definitely still muck it up, but it's gone okay. So yeah, that's really good, because a bad Hall of Trials, like I say, can cost easily a minute and a half. And that's the death walk. So yeah, in theory, we'll level up once we kill this chap. There we go. And you want to level up because you want full magic for the boss coming up. And in fact, I need to make sure I've got my healing going on, because it's super easy to die to this chap. See, once he gets his shield on, you've got to reset these pillars. I should be alright. In fact, it's good because I didn't need to use my healing potion, so I don't have to spend the 20 seconds later on dealing with or getting another potion for the bit coming up. So yeah, could have gone worse. And if I don't do anything else, I must not forget to get the Mage Blade. So many runs, I've just forgotten to get this, like a muppet. And you need this for the next section, because you've now gathered all the pieces of the Mage Blade, which you need to kill the Master of, need to tackle the next area. You come into this area, you forge it, and without this, all the corruptors in World's End Keep, which is the last section, are completely immune to anything but... what am I doing? That's another quit load, which if you do it properly, saves time. If you do it improperly, then it doesn't. But yeah, so the sword I've got now can actually hurt the corruptors. But they definitely save the worst to last in this game, because this section is very easy to die in. Especially, I could easily... I could easily die to that guy. There you go. And then die lots more times. We got him second time round. I'd quite like to have a bit more health at this stage. I think I might be due a level up, but again, because I've had some unintentional deaths, I sort of lost track with where my level ups are going to happen. Do a triple jump there very deliberately, so I get all of these back guys to make their way up, so they're not interrupting me. And I'm going to take this real conservatively. There is actually a much faster way of doing that, but I didn't want to die again. I don't want to die again. And this fight coming up can lose a lot of time. I think I'm going to be very conservative here and heal if it doesn't go well as soon as I can. Yeah, I had to heal there. This is a shame because it means I've got to spend the 20 seconds before the final boss getting another potion. But yeah, if you die there, then you've got quite a lot to get through. Oh gosh. If you die there, you've got to go straight back to the first portal in World's End Keep. It's a big time loss. Any death in World's End Keep generally is, you know, a minute plus of time loss. I'm just going to kill someone here. I'm actually well under on my... I want to be 9300 at least to get a level up to the final boss. I mean, this is real slow. I just don't want to... I don't want to not level up. I have just realised I haven't been healing myself for quite a while. I remember speedruns early on, dying to these guys quite a lot. It's nice not to die to them quite as much, but it still happens. Oh, I've never actually done that. I'm forgetting which way I'm going to be running. These squishy block things, if you actually die to them, then there's no do-overs. It's straight back to the last portal, so you really want to not die to them. And I should have mentioned, actually, there's a skip where you can get to this area well ahead of by avoiding most of the other sections of the whole game, which Ben discovered, called the Corrupted Grove Skip. And even though it could break the whole game, no one's actually tried that in a run yet, because it would be super grindy. It involves 2 jumps, which are a real crap shot. This is first boss phase 1, who is another big troll. And I'm going to be super conservative to try and not die. Because ideally I don't want to use this health potion. It's not bad. And this is what I'm going to do, even though it wouldn't be allowed in normal runs, is try the Master of Chaos insta-kill. Just to demonstrate it, it's basically an insta-kill of this guy. And we decided kind of to frown on its use in actual runs. See, sometimes he clips into the ground and dies instantly. And I don't think he's going to be kind today. Yeah, I might have to kill him normally. He's just not doing it. Yeah, there you go. That we've frowned on in all games, because it's also that's time. Yeah, we don't do it normally because it doesn't tend to work for everyone, or sometimes he'll do it after like 4 minutes for some people, and it seems like it's device dependent. So yeah, I've got no idea what that time was. It's a pretty bad run.